Alright, hey, welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm just jumped into a Cube Swiss draft, and we're about to start doing Swiss because I want to, play 3 matches and see how that all goes. Not sure how I feel about the Magic Online Cube. I've definitely drafted better cubes in my time. I'm, a bit underwhelmed by a lot of the choices in this thing, and, cards like Cold Ice Selkie, like, does it really need to be here? Willbender, I mean, Willbender's a fine card, but Nizumi Grave Robber? Awakening Zone? I don't like Awakening Zone. Um, so there's a couple options in this pack. One of them is Dark Ritual, which is it's a powerful card. 3 mana, yeah, 3 mana. I'm not gonna say that I'm an expert on drafting combo decks, and I don't know if combo in this cube is really something you want to be doing if you're not some kind of savant at it. Other ridiculous cards are Path of Exile, which I don't know. I'm not going to be taking it. It's just Swords to Plowshares, and like this is a. I want to be doing something a bit more proactive and exciting in this sort of environment. Card I'm really leaning towards most is Worn Power Stone, which is pretty damn good, and I think I'm going to take it because my time's running out. Other options like Frost Tide and Blood Crypt, yeah, I guess that's it. So Worn Power Stone it is. And am I going to follow it up with the worst of the Eldrazi? That's the question. Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, draws 4 cards when it comes into play, but it's easily disposed of considering it costs 10 mana, and it's a 12/12. Cards like Path to Exile really kind of push it away. If I'd taken Dark Ritual, I'd probably just take Empty the Warrens here, because I'm that kind of guy. But at this point in time, I think I'm kind of, am I Kozileking, or am I taking like something more sensible like Inferno Titan or Kaiga the Tidestar? I love this card from back in the day. I used to float 12 mana and cast Wildfire a lot when I was, when that was a thing you could do with the Urza lands. Yeah, soft spot for this guy. Casting the second one to steal 2 dudes, living the dream, all that sort of stuff. Um, this guy's a 12/12. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm gonna take it because 10 mana is like the least ridiculous of the Eldrazi costs, but it's not my favorite card. And see where it takes us, I guess. All is dust, eh? But all is dust is all well and good, but there's Terrestodon, which is pretty insane, and there's also Ancient Tomb, which, if you ask me, might lap. I mean, someone said to me once that the most powerful accelerators in this cube are actually the one-drop creatures, and I don't know if that's true or not. It does lock me into a color if I take this card, as does taking Terrestodon. I might just be happy to take Ancient Tomb and stick with it. Although this is like one of the best things you can be putting into play if you're putting lots of land into play. Other cool cards in this pack are like Parallax Tide, Wave, sorry, I can't wish it was Parallax Tide. Parallax Tide does this for lands. It's pretty insane, especially if you get Ankh of Mishra, which is another one of my all-time favorite cards. So the options are like taking Terrastodon and trying to lap either Ancient Tomb or All Is Dust, or taking Ancient Tomb and trying to lap one of these green cards. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I think Terrastodon's is like too powerful to pass here. I've gone ahead and taken it. I was gonna say I'm going to go ahead and take it, but I've already done it. Huh. Okay. Well, this is like my favorite card in Magic in a long time. Obviously you can put zero synergy with what we're doing right now, but well, yeah. Take Tiago Chan, or I'm gonna take Lotus Bloom. Obviously Lotus Bloom fits in nicely with what we're doing right now, but I am a fan of this, man. I am a fan. Interestingly enough, I think this is one of the best red cards in the cube, best mono red card. um, the rebuys on Lightning Bolts are pretty spectacular, but I think I'm gonna have to take this Lotus Bloom. As much as it pains me to say that I'll be doing, I hate this card. Eggs combo decks and whatever. Dragon Storming. Who do people think they are? All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't take a Snapcaster because I'd probably be taking some awful card like Dungeon Geist, but I'm definitely taking Farseek here because 2 mana ramp spells are 2 mana ramp spells, and we're doing it. I think we're doing it. Yeah. As I was saying before, I'm not sure this cube is as good as it could be, if you ask me. I mean, there's some things that I would like included on a regular basis. No, I think there's just some weird choices in it, to be perfectly honest. Alright, this pack has arrived. And oh, the storm hits keep coming. Well, ways to kill people. .deck. Um, the options here are take the Mortarpod because it's mediocre. Take the Wall of Reverence because it's pretty good. Take the Brooding Sarion because I want to read its text. At the beginning of each end step, each player gains control. Oh wow, that's not something I'm going to play. I think it's between Wall of Reverence and Mortarpod. And you can make an argument for Negate, like it might actually be like relatively useful in this deck and could be good off the splash, but I think I'm going to take Wall of Reverence because its upside's pretty high. And I'm immediately going to consider this Indrik Stomphowler, because it's probably the best card in this pack, outside of the obvious Dual Land. That's pretty strong, but not so much when everyone's doing insane things. I think I'm going to take Indrik Stomphowler. It's a good card to cast off one Power Stone after they've played some insane thing, and I'm not unhappy to have it in my deck. It means I can ignore effects like Disenchant for the rest of the draft, and just like know that I've got it attached to a 4/4 body. And yeah, I mean, yeah, this is easily like the most exciting card in the pack, but I'm going to take the Stomphowler. My man, USA the Morning Star. This is a good dragon. It's a good dragon. I'm fairly certain if you like a legend rule this guy, they skip 2 untap steps and tap 10 permanents, which is basically game over. Mind you, you have no 5/5 dragons left anymore, but it's a small price to pay. Other options are like Cataclysm here, which is a very strong card. I mean, like if you like, yam something and cast it, it's pretty damn good. But I think I'm gonna take this Yosei. I mean, am I really in green-white? How did this happen? What went wrong in my life? So this card is it's like a weird hoser. I'm not really sure it's very good. There's not really that many other options in this pack for me though. I can take Yafamea Coast because it might help me splash some blue cards every now and then, which I'm prone to do. You can also take this Blood Crypt for like the double splash potential, but I think I prefer to take Yavimaya Coast. This is a. I think this is a Keeg of the Tidestar time. Like I don't need this card in my deck, and this is a very powerful thing to be doing on on turn 4 or 5. This guy's good. This guy's also pretty good. Not really sure what to do here. It could be some kind of dragon theme deck, but that seems really depressing. I'm gonna take Apocryphite and see what happens. Take Shivan Reef and continue down that path. I'm gonna take Seal of Primordium. I know I said I'd ignore naturalized effects, but I don't know. If the guy next to me is doing Storm, he can do it because good on him. And Clifftop Retreat for the freebie Red Splash. So that pack went okay. I got some powerful cards. I got Terastodon, I got Farseek, I got Lotus Bloom, I got 1 Power Stone. This guy's powerful. I mean, it's no lie. But I'm not impressed by it. I don't know. This isn't exactly where I envisioned it winding up in this. When I started this draft, but who knows? I don't know. People who know me will know that if I'm ever playing green spells, something weird is happening. Nothing completely averse to the idea. It's just something weird's happening. You have to forgive me. I'm eating this banana chip. It's pretty tasty. They're not too sweet a snack. I like that. They're crunchy and slightly sweet and slightly banana-y. Let's see what happens in this next pack, though. I don't know. Ooh, maybe I'm passing this guy D-Storm44. He might be drafting the Storm deck. Maybe. Ooh, Volupes. I drafted against this dude the other day and beat him. So this pack has some good cards in it. I mean, like, this card's like the quintessential best 1-drop in mono red. This card is amazing. This card took so long for people to figure out how good it was, but it's completely insane. All modes on it are so good. This guy just got banned in Modern. Whether or not you think that's right or not is up for debate. This is a good land. This is a powerful thing, but I think this might come back. Whereas I think Khan Liberated is probably one of the better planeswalkers you've been doing, and he's colorless, and that suits me just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and take him. All right. My options here are the Elves of Deep Shadow, the Maze of Ith, which is a good spell. It's not a land, remember, it's a spell. So play it in the spell in a land slot. Or this Lotus Cobra. And Lotus Cobra is pretty sick, really. It is really quite sick. Just going, you know. It's a powerful effect. If you pick up any fetch lands, this card's completely busted. Whereas this card's just consistently okay. Whereas this card's got way higher ceiling. And I think in this instance, I'm all about ceiling here. So I'm gonna take Lotus Cobra and see what happens. Yeah, there's plenty of good cards to play. Like Unburial Rites, you know, Lion's Eye Diamond for D-Storm 44. Yeah, maybe I'll get Maze back or L's back, which I'd be either one I'd be happy with. Alright, options here include the Mighty Palinchron and try and lap Heartbeat, and try and do something with all that infinite mana. It's interesting. I'm getting slightly excited by that. Heartbeat, hey? The question is, if I take either one of them and like it doesn't work out, then that's a shit spot to be in, really. Which one would I rather have in a vacuum? Would I rather be heartbeating in a vacuum, or would I rather be palinchroning in a vacuum? I'd probably rather be heartbeating. However, there is a safe pick of Fertile Ground, and that kind of worries me. Why don't I just take Fertile Ground and like get either of these? As the options are, if I take Palinchron, I might get like either of those green cards back, but I think that I'm just gonna go for it. The weird thing about these both being in the same pack is someone passes to me and they know they're both in the same pack. So are they gonna take this when they see it come back? I'm not certain. I'm gonna take Heartbeat. Okay. So this pack has Sundering Titan in it, but it also has Control Magic in it. This is gonna be slightly weird, but I'm gonna cost sort and hide my white cards because I don't really want to play them. I'm happy to just be like mono white, mono green at this point. Maybe splashes Kyger. So like, can I take Titan? I mean, I've got a fair amount of fatties at the moment, and it's a pretty good one. There's also Control Magic, which is a powerful spell and quite good against me, I think. Yeah, look, I think I've already got enough Boom Booms, and I'm interested in cards like Control Magic to kind of help me stay alive and do powerful things in general anyway. Slightly more agreeable mana costs. So this might be a mistake. You can chastise me for it later, but I'm gonna go with Control Magic here. Okay. So, some options. We take Desertion, which is a powerful spell. It's pretty much like Control Magic, but it's a counter spell. It is a good card. I remember being quite obsessed with this when I was a kid. I considered paying $8 for it at the local card store and putting it in my blue-red counterburn deck, but I declined because that was a lot of money back in those days. Other options are Stirring Wildwood, which doesn't excite me very much. Leatherback Baloth, which is a 4/5 for 4, which is pretty good if you like mono green. Or Electrolyze. And Electrolyze is pretty strong, and I've got this like weird red side splash. I'm gonna take Desertion because I'm not certain I'm gonna be red in addition to my green blue at the moment. Okay, so my options include taking Savannah, which is a fine splash complement, or taking this Tarmogoyf, which is in all likelihood pretty awful in my deck. The options aren't particularly exciting at the moment. I mean, I take Relic of Progenitus and take a little bit of sideboard guard, but I think it's probably worth me just taking the Savannah. It means I can take like Armageddons or something if I really want to, or like Flooded Strand and Splash Blue and White. Alright, what creatures do I have? I have Lotus Cobra, Hendrik Stormpower, Kaga, Terrastodon, Kozilek. I am not a survival of the fittest deck, unfortunately. As much as that upsets me. Am I a regrowth deck? I might be a regrowth deck. I mean, there's something to be said for its effect. It's pretty strong. Uh, am I going to take Regrowth here out of this pack? Nothing really else is exciting. I mean, like, Pact Negation is probably the next closest thing, but I think I'm just going to take Regrowth because it might find a home. Alright, this is pretty sweet. Cultivate or Sunboiled Sage, and I think I'm going to go with the more universally useful Cultivate. I remember this card cost $20. It might still, I haven't really checked, but this card was a critical component in many standard decks, or Type 2 as it was called back then. Used to play this all the time. It was good because it killed Treetop Village, which is really important. I'm going to take Cultivate here, and miss this opportunity to get Sunboiled Sage. Oh, I came back. God, do I feel like a king. Sucks as fast as Mystic Snake, but I think Genesis Waving with Heartbeat of Spring is the way to go. Alright, so what are we doing here? What are we doing here? In all likelihood, I'm not going to play any of these cards. Closest card I'm likely to play is probably Mirror Entity, just because I have a lot of mana, so I'm just going to snap it off and see what happens. And immediately hide it. And I'm immediately rewarded, and by immediately I mean 8 picks later, rewarded by this sweet Palinchron. Also, Fertile Ground came back, but can't pass up the opportunity of making infinite mana and then casting Genesis Wave, and then dying to getting decked. Probably trying to Histodon here. This card's not actually that bad. You know, if it gets in, and that's good times. And it's got a fairly solid body. Not excited by it though. I might just hide it. I'm gonna hide this Clifftop Retreat and probably Shivan Reef too. And probably hide the Histodon. Yeah, so this deck is shaping up. I now have something to do. I have this kind of like game plan that goes on, which involves, you know, casting this, and this in the same turn, and then following it up with this to hit, you know, Apocryphite. It's probably time to start jamming more fatties and maybe some card drawing spells if I can in the third pack. Well, Leatherbag Beloth, he might make the cut. This card's a pretty solid play on turn 3. It's a pretty solid play. Renewed Faith, classic sideboard card, or main deck card actually. Sorry, main deck card, because you know gaining 2 life and drawing a card isn't the worst thing for 2 mana. Vexing Devil, Wilfie, where are you? Alright, here we are again. And the options are interesting. This is one of my all-time favorite cards. Unfortunately, I don't think this is the deck to play it in. I wish it was. I wish I had like Tradewind Rider and Opposition and that Awakening Zone and was just bouncing and tapping things forever. How many shuffle effects do I have? I have a Farseek, I have a Cultivate, I have... That is all. Wish I could take this Brainstorm, but I can't. I think I want to take Sakura Tribe Elder just because it is a ramp spell, and there's a possibility that I get my old buddy Tradewind Rider back, and that'd be sweet to be able to play Tradewind Rider. Alright, I'm going to take Sakura Tribe Elder. Fellwest Stone is also an option, but I think Tribe Elder is better here. Okay, we have just been served with some juice. A couple options here, and they're all in a row. One of them is Bird of Paradise, a mighty fine card, you know, iconic magic card. Great thing to be doing if you're ramping. Great thing to be doing if you're just kind of trying to be mid-rangey. Just all around solid card. Vidalcan Shackles is insanely powerful, and I would love to be playing it, though I don't know how much blue mana I'm going to be playing. Mind you, double blue, double blue, double blue. What's the option? And this Trop. Trop would really help me out here. Really help me fix. I'm at 19 playables at the moment with a full pack. Get either of these back would be sweet. I could get Mirari's Wake back or Soa. I think I'm going to take Bird of Paradise though, because it's all around sweet and does the same trick as Trop, but also accelerates me. Might be wrong though. Might be wrong. Here, I'm wondering what I should do. Should I take Miscalculation and just play it? Because it's like a universal kind of solution to a bunch of misgivings that my deck might have. I think it's probably a reasonable choice, though it's, a poor combo with Genesis Wave. I know, it cycles and it's just generally alright. I think I'm probably just going to take it, though it's unexciting me. Could take Arid Mesa, which has a good synergy with Lotus Cobra, but I'm just going to take Miscalc and roll with it. Okay, speaking of cards that have good synergy with Miscalc, it's Thorium Glaciers. However, speaking of cards that are just good by themselves, it's Woodfall Primus. Much as it pains me to not be taking Thoring here, I'm just going to take the Primus and be done with it. Another 8 mana dude. Super sweet. Okay. That's some options here. This card's really strong. Am I looking like I'm going to be able to cast it? I have Shivan Reef hidden, and I have Savannah. I feel like the planets really have to align for that to work out. I could take Gifts Ungiven as just a kind of general value card, but I'm not really kind of enamored with that idea. I feel like I got gifts for these 4 dudes or whatever, but one of the other options, like take Root Baron Crag, take Rancor, like these aren't real cards. I think I'd rather take a Johnny Vengeance and just see if something works out. Like if that Arid Mesa comes back, I'll just play it. That's really strong. Another tough spot. Primal Command. Solid card, all around all-star. Search for Tomorrow's good ramp card. How's my ramping going? 1, 2, 3, 4, half, 5, 6. It's not really a critical mass of ramp spells. I'm probably more inclined to take Search for Tomorrow's. Yeah, I guess, look, I'm just gonna go with it. Caution to wind. Nothing for me here, but there's a Stomping Grounds, and I'll take it, because it might help me play this Johnny Vengeance. Here we go. This is Vraska the Unseen. Is it? You ask me. Yeah, Vraska's pretty silly. I don't know. It's not great or anything, but I mean, I could take Spell Pierce, which might actually be reasonable. This may be a reasonable option, as much as it bores me. I'm gonna take Spell Pierce. Alright, here we go. How many colors am I making? Can I etch the Oracle? I'm more likely to etch the Oracle than anything else here, so I'm just gonna take it. Maybe I wind up with 4 colors. Oh, Shackles, baby. Come to me. Didn't get Trop. I almost would have preferred at this point in time. Looks like I'm just going to go straight blue-green. And try and take advantage of having Shackles. Can ramp into Boom Booms. Can make infinite mana. Can hide Leatherback Baloth, because I don't really want to play it. I mean, Shackles, Leatherback Baloth, the classic combo. Could play Pyroclasm in this deck. Could also play Dryad Militant. Could also not play either of them, but I'd probably rather take Pyroclasm here. So I don't get overrun entirely. Yeah, I wonder. So I need to do this for like X is like, 3 less than the total number of cards in my library, and have these 3 be in the bottom. I don't know, I feel like I can do some pretty fun things with this. Ooh, I like this card. It's making my deck. Yeah, so this deck's turned out alright, I guess. It's not remarkably exciting, but it has some pretty powerful things going on. It has some of my favorite things to ramp into, other than that big dude. What's he called? It's Avenger of Zendikar. I'm gonna take a Chaos Warp. Oh, sweet, this card's definitely making the main. Yeah, I like this card a lot. It does a lot of good things. My personal favorite is to plow them and go get a creature. Plowing them and then going to get Protrastodon is... It's interesting, let's say that. Let's just say it's interesting. So I don't need to play the Savannah, I don't need to play the Stomping Ground, I can play this Yapamea Coast, and then a bunch of islands. Like, am I going to play like... I feel like it's probably a 17 lander. Maybe it's a 16 lander. I mean, I like all the cards I've got here. I'm happy to play Spell Pierce and stuff like that in this deck. Lotus Cobra seems, mediocre, I'll admit it. Spell Pierce, Miscalc, Desertion, Kigo, Palinchron. That's 25. I mean, this might actually just be 25ers. Is there anything here I'm not really keen to play? I'd probably cut this Apocryphite. Play 16 land. Yeah, let's go for it. Add lands, just 9-6. So there's 6 islands for my Vidalcan Shackles. I mean, it's not amazing, but I'm not complaining. I mean, it's just there for the sweet kicks. Oh, Khan. Ooh, nearly forgot that guy. 41 cards, eh? Maybe. It's maybe 41. Things that can get cut. Maybe the Shackles are super loose. I should just bring it in when it's appropriate. Might actually be better. Stay focused in the main and just bring this guy in when, they're doing insane things. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Alright, I'm gonna submit. I'll see you when it's time for round 1.